All right, so now that we have our our four main elements for the login servlet, the get user details method, the get random salt value stored within the database, along with the hidden field that we had to create on the login form that's generating the token string and the user bean. We can then now proceed to finish our login servlet. But before we get to do that, I wanted to address something quickly. I noticed within the last video when I was editing that here within the authenticate user method, I had copied this particular query string get user details into this method here by mistake, but I've changed it back to the change user query string. So for those of you who are following along with what I'm doing, just remember to change it back to that. And apologies again for that mistake. So then, like I said, now when we go back to the login string, I mean the login servlet, when we last left off, we were here within the second if block here. Now we need to change this because the what you call it, oh actually no, we are correct. This is the authenticate user method that we need. I need to change that as well, the that comment, and I will need to copy that down here as well. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, over here. All right. So now, because we have our token string set up within our login form, if you remember, we can then now access it down here within our if block. So I'm going to use the login. By the way, I have to set the following attributes for our session. So I'm going to copy that there and place it down here. Then I'm going to say set attribute, right? And then I'm going to say, then I'm going to call it token. Let me just say session token. And then obviously we need to get this particular token over here. And then the other one is the user details. So within here, I'll say login. Let me just paste this. I want to say again set attribute. Then I'm going to say user. All right. So for this here, what we're going to need is so I'm going to say user and then user, and this is going to equal to um, get user details, right? And then we're using the email to get those details there. Just want to quickly import that. All right, and then I'm going to copy that into the user attribute. Okay, so now before we continue, I want to quickly run the application and check and see if the token that we're getting here, is it generating a value or not. I'm going to run this now. I'm going to pause the video for just a second while it runs. I'll be back in a second. All right, so our application is now running. The one thing I wanted to do actually is inspect um, the token value and see if it is showing. So I'm going to copy this here, and then I'm going to open a browser to see to inspect the value there. Okay, now the browser's open, I'm going to inspect, I'm going to open up the developer tools there. Okay, so that's our token field over there. I actually made a mistake. I need to remove that label there. But as you can see, it is generating a random token value over there. And if if you check there, if you refresh the page, it will generate a new one all the time. As you can see, it's different from the last value that we saw there. So at least we now know that it is generating a token value. I'm just going to stop the server from running there. Okay, so we do now know that we are getting a value from the token field within our login form. Okay, so now the other thing that I need to do within here is I'm going to create a dispatcher for the dashboard. So within the servlets here, I'm going to create another servlet for the dashboard. All right, and so within here, we're doing the exact same thing that we did um, with the login and registration form. So I'm going to copy that there and paste it within the doGet method of the dashboard. And then we obviously going to change that to dashboard. But remember that the dashboard file is sitting within our app folder. So there I need to append and say, um, and then dashboard, app, and then dashboard. And then obviously I'm going to change that. Okay. So here within the login form, oh, by the way, sorry about that. I need to change that to dashboard. Okay. And then we also need to change the login one as well and say login. All right. So once everything is successful and it gets to this particular stage here, we are then going to use, we're going to respond by saying respond send uh, sorry about that, not respond, it's response. Okay, so now with here, let me just double check that. I think it's respond dot send dot send you redirect. Yeah, I was correct. Okay, so I need to explain this a little bit. The respond send redirect and request dispatcher. Um, they're not the exact same thing. With this one, we need to actually type in the what you call it, the full URL of the application, meaning that since we since here within the dashboard we said the URL is going to just be slash dashboard, which means that when we type in the URL within here, we have to put in the fully qualified name. So if I remember correctly, I just want to open this up again. So um, we need to get the login. Yeah, this is the one we need. So we need to copy that there and then put it within the within the send that redirect method, and then after that we're going to say dashboard. So now because of how we've done our URL here within the dashboard over here, though the app is going to be, I mean, though the dashboard page is going to be sitting within an app folder, the request dispatcher is going to treat it as if it's in the root folder, like as you see the login form, error pages, and register page. So that's why we have to type in that URL over there. So now, with that being said, we've already set up all our session values that we're going to need, that we are going to be accessing within the dashboard page. The one last thing I think we need to do is deal with the error page for if the user is using an email that's not registered within the system. So remember, we set up this error message over here. Now what we need to do is we want to copy that there, and then within the error page, um, again we need to copy this here and then paste it over there. I know this is looking a bit messy, but yeah, hopefully, but within the next project, we will be dealing with such things. So here within the login page, I need to copy that error attribute again. So here I'm going to say that if not equal to null, then it's going to display that error over there. Now the other thing that I want to add is the register button. So what I'm going to do is just underneath there, I'm going to add another if statement. So I'm going to check for this again, actually, right? And then I'm going to add that over there as well. Put it there. So I'm going to copy this uh, this button over here, and then we're going to change that to register, right? And this time we're going to say outline, right? And then obviously it's going to go to the register route, and then this is going to go to the login page. One moment for me, please. All right, I'm not quite sure why it's showing that squiggly line over there, but we will see if it does generate an error or not. But the whole purpose over here is that this register button here is only supposed to show only when this email does not exist attribute is not set to null, or if it has a value stored within it. So but the rest of the time it's not supposed to show when displaying all these other error messages over there. Now I think we should be able to test and see, but just give me a second. I just want to make sure that we got everything correct there. All right, so we're getting our email, our password, our token, and we are checking the user there. Oh yes. By the way, remember that the password that's stored within the database is hashed. So we need to get the hashed value of this password. So what we need to do here is hash uh, password. All right. So the first thing we need to get as well is actually the value of the salt value. Okay, so for that, what we're gonna say is string salt and then equals to get random salt. Okay, and then what we need to do here is hash the password. So string hash password, and then we're gonna say it's equals to, so we are getting the password there, and then we're going to concatenate the salt that we're getting up there. All right, so remember we are using the email the user is inputting within the login field to get the random salt, the salt value that's stored within the database. If you can just check it there quickly, and underscore b1 select all from users. All right, so if the user is using the correct email within the system and the correct user email within the system, it's going to get the whatever salt value, the salt value that's stored within the database. And then from there on, since we're getting it here, what we do is then rehash whatever password uh, they've put into the login field. We are rehashing it there, and then when we compare the email and password, we then have to use the hashed value of both the password and the salt value that we're getting to see if it is giving us the correct user details. Okay, so yeah, I almost forgot about that, but yeah, that's what we needed to do there. All right, so I'm gonna run the application again. I'm gonna pause the video while it's starting up, and then we'll get back to testing our login form. Apologies, guys. I actually forgot again to actually set up the error message onto the login form. So if the information the user is setting is giving us from the login form is incorrect, we also need to set that error here. Apologies again, guys. I just need to quickly do that. So I'm gonna set that error message here, incorrect details, and then obviously you have to say incorrect username or password, and then we obviously have to return to the login page. Okay, so within the login page, how we're going to access that, we're going to come here, and then I think right above the login form, we have to set an alert there. So I'm just going to say display. I'm going to give it a div. Then I'm going to give it a bootstrap class of alert, and then alert danger. Let's copy that there. All right, so the same thing we're gonna do there is we're gonna open a scriptlet and we're gonna say if first dot get attribute is not equal to null, we then gonna display that error message over there. Right, and then we obviously need to close it off. All right, so let's get that error message again. All right, just want to put that within. Just want to make it bold. All right, so just to recap, if the user gave us the incorrect username and detail, it's gonna display that error message over there. Apologies again, guys. I'm still learning how to do this. At times, some amateurism is kicking in when I go about doing this. So just to recheck, right, getting the values there, checking if there are no empty fields, and then um, over here we are checking if the user is putting in an email that's registered within the system. If not, it's going to display that error message over there. And then here we're getting the salt value and we are rehashing the password the user is giving us with the salt value. And then here we are checking both the email and the stored hashed value within the system. If it's the same, it'll log in and send us to the dashboard. Otherwise, it's going to redirect us back to the login page and then show us that error message over there. All right, so hopefully I did do everything right this time around. So I'm going to rerun the application again. uh, Everything is saved up. Let's just see if it goes on. I'm gonna pause the video for now while it runs. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so the server's up and running. I'm gonna just do that there. Okay, so I'm gonna try here with John Doe's details here to try and log in. So let's see if it's gonna accept our. Actually, I'm gonna first start off by putting in the incorrect details to see if it's gonna return that error message. So remember the password was password123. So there, I'm gonna say uh, John Doe at some company, and then I'll just say password. Oh, by the way, apologies for that. I had to actually um, here within the login form, I had to set the action to login. Sorry. Uh, so remember, it has to be the same as within the login servlet up here. But remember to not put in the trailing slash. Okay, so let me try again there. Right, so I'm gonna say John Doe password. Okay, hold on. Damn it, I forgot to put the method as well. Hopefully this time around it will go well. Okay, so Okay, so looks like our check is working there. So it was able to pick up that the username and password that I put in here was incorrect. So now I'm gonna try and put in the correct details and let's see if it will direct us to the dashboard. I'm gonna say password 23. It's in caps. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So looks like it worked. So we put in the correct details and it redirected us back to the dashboard. So yeah, that's our login form there. So now I think we should be done, but the one last thing that I wanted to check here was if we put in the incorrect if we put in an email that doesn't exist in the system, will it redirect us back to the other error page that we set up? So remember, it was this particular stage over here. So let's just see if that will work. So I'll say let me just say John. Let me just put .za there at the end, right? And then we put in the password. So remember, it's gonna check if this email that I'm putting in here exists or not. If it doesn't, it's gonna redirect us back to the error page. So hopefully that works. So let's just check now. So it didn't. All right, give me a sec to check that out there. All right, guys, I'm back again. Okay, so I found where the issue was. I did an if statement over here and here, but then the one above that, there is no ending curly brace there. So that's why it was giving us that error. So I'm just gonna put that curly brace over there. So what I'm gonna do here is just refresh this, and then okay. So all right, so I'm gonna go back to the login form. I'm gonna try again to put in the incorrect email password. Let me just put some gibberish there. Yeah. All right, so it redirects us back to the error page, and then it tells us there are no records of this user account. Please proceed to the actions below. So that's the error message that we set up here within the login authentication method. All right, so as you can see, our login form is working correctly. Unfortunately, some amateurism kicked in over there where I forgot certain stuff, but yeah. But thanks for those of you who are bearing with me at the moment. So now we should be done. This is basically we're done with the login form. So from here on, we're going to be moving towards um, getting the user's information using the sessions there within the next video. And then I think from there on, we should be doing again the filter as well. And I'm most likely after those two videos, we'll be done with our authentication app. So yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. For those of you who haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys within the next video. Cheers for now.